Hello, everyone. So today we have a guest, Reagan Des Vignes. He's the host of TRT,
Just 2 degrees.
Just 2 Degrees, in TRT World. And we are so happy as Plant-Based team that there is now some hosts in Turkey focusing on this issue, which is a huge thing. Well, can you tell more about yourself and your program, please?
My name is Reagan Des Vignes. I'm a Caribbean guy. I come from the island of Trinidad and Tobago, which is just off the coast of Venezuela. It's a very small island compared to Turkey. And my country, we have about just over 1 million people living there. But of course, as an island, we are super affected by anything the larger countries do. And more specifically, we are affected by global warming because we're even before we knew a lot about global warming, we always experienced hurricanes there, flooding, of course, that normally follows hurricanes. And so we've kind of noticed that things have been getting more intense within the last 10 to 15 years, I would say. So I left my country in 20, I left my country in 2015, 16. I moved to Quito, Ecuador, where I worked as a news presenter there. Then I moved to Venezuela, where I was there as well as a news presenter and correspondent. And I came to Turkey in 2018. And I've been a senior producer and presenter ever since. But last year, I started doing Just 2 Degrees on and off. We had a staffing issue, so the show was off air for a while, and I started doing the show full time from the first week in November 2022. It's been an interesting ride ever since.
Awesome! It's so exciting to watch the episodes and meet the guests. And I think Darwood Zalke was one of your guests as well in the past, right?
Who's this?
Darwood Zalke.
Ah, yes. I think he's been on the show twice so far.
He's our one of superheroes because he is focusing in methane, and it is obviously
Very smart guy. He's a wealth of information and knowledge.
indeed. So, how about Veganuary? You announced that you are in, and this January you are trying your best, I think, to go vegan.
Yeah, you know something, Neil Yoon, I really started cutting back the amount of meat I eat when I started the show last November. And so as the first week we started the show, I wanted the show to be the truth about what's happening. And so a lot of research had to go into the show before it started. And the minute I started researching, I realized, wow, this is a huge issue. I mean, animal welfare is one issue, global warming is another issue. When you see how animals are treated just to be food for us, if it doesn't change your outlook on life, then you are probably completely closed off to the world. And so I've been noticing how chickens are killed, how cows, goats. Most recently, we've been looking at how this animal, it's an animal that people use for fur, minks, how minks are killed. Horrible. It's all horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about animal agriculture simply because eating meat is such a huge part of so many cultures, including mine back at home. And so you grow up understanding, okay, meat is healthy, it's good for you, and once sustainable, it's fine on the environment. But when you look at the scale at which animals are being killed for us, and the amount of deforestation, the amount of forests are being cleared just to provide pasture land for cows, we kind of have to take a step back, not even take a step back, take a step forward and make something happen to change how this works. but it's such a huge problem that I don't think anyone really knows where to really hit this in the gut. The animal products companies are so powerful, they're so big, they represent so many people drink milk, eat cheese, butter, and eat milk. You know what I mean? So how do we handle this? How do we convince people that all of us need to switch to a plant-based diet? Or even, as some people say, cut their meat consumption down drastically to make any difference. And so it's been a really strange time for me personally, because it's made me question so many things about my upbringing and even places that I've lived and where I live now in Turkey, which I guess essentially is what journalism is about. The minute you start researching things and learning new things, you are forced to change your perspective on how things operate in the world. And so Veganuary for me, I started cutting back on meat in November when I started the show. So I stopped eating beef completely. The first week I started doing the show, I cut beef out completely out of my diet. By the end of November, I had stopped eating chicken completely. And I stopped eating cheese completely as well. So beef, chicken, and cheese, I stopped consuming in November. I'll be honest. I play a lot of tennis. I go to the gym. I'm a very active person. So I was really concerned about my protein intake. So I still continued drinking milk and eating fish and eating eggs in December, because I knew the transition would not be easy and I needed to slowly do it. So I was eating milk, chicken, consuming milk, chicken, and eggs in December. But by the end of December, I totally stopped all of that. And so far, this is what the first week into January. It's been quite more than a week so far for me, and without a single drop of any animal product in my diet whatsoever. The first few days, I felt very odd. I can't describe why. I don't know if I was overthinking the process, because I knew I was told that I would feel different. So I don't know if, okay, you're gonna feel different, you're gonna feel different, you're gonna feel different. I don't know if that was why I felt different, but my body was fine. I was not. Interestingly, I can honestly say, I don't wake up exhausted like I did in the past. I don't feel weaker when I go to the gym. I don't feel my fatigue is more mental these days, not physical, which I thought was interesting. So at the office, I can go for longer hours. Honestly, this past week, so I don't feel totally destroyed at the end of a working week. I'm just mentally tired, and I think that's normal. So far, Veganuary has been really interesting, and of course, it's been so much fun trying different things. Just yesterday, I made a pot of delicious green lentils. I love green lentils. We use them back so much in Trinidad. I made some sweet potatoes, purple carrots, which I tried for the first time yesterday, and beets. It was so amazing, and it's so much fun for me to. I mean, I'm an explorer. I love trying new things, and so it's been a real ride for me so far, Nilgün.
That's wonderful. Are you using Happy Cow app? You can find new places in your.
No, not at all. Where I don't, but I'll try it. Maybe we can talk about that app so I can download it, because I'd love that. Here where I live, there's nowhere vegan, nowhere vegan. Some restaurants have vegan dishes, but there's no vegan stores. So if you can send me anything that will help me on this journey, I'll really appreciate it.
Totally. I mean, Istanbul is a heaven. We sometimes have tours to Istanbul just to eat the pastry. There are some pastry shops. You can easily leave your city and relocate in Istanbul just to try. I will send them all to you.
Thank you.
So you say it's going good so far. It's nice to hear that. And also, maybe we can also introduce you to our dietitian. She has been helping me a lot through my
Super.
process, yeah. And maybe I could send some documentaries such as Game Changer.
That'd be great. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
It's really mind blowing. It is, there is a football team in America, and they
Yeah.
are United States, and whole team is vegan, and they say
Mm,
they have, they feel more powerful. Their
interesting.
energy is higher. You will find it very, very interesting, I bet.
That's super good news. You know, I also bought this a few days ago. It's this multivitamin
Yes.
that has B12, iron, everything that I don't want to miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know meats, eggs, and beef particularly have some vitamins that I'm not too sure where to find in vegetables quite yet because I'm still researching as the days pass. But I bought this multivitamin just so that my body's covered while I find all the information I need to find.
Yeah. Um, Well, we can come to that point later, maybe, because multivitamins are not really prescribed, but sometimes you
Mhm.
need to focus on the B12 and the vitamin D, or
Yeah,
everything else comes with the food, because the source
yeah.
is the
Oh,
soil, and you don't need anything. You'll see. It's something
super.
I make. I cross my fingers that you will continue. But how about the responses? I mean, your friends, anyone around you. How are the?
Not happy, Nilgun. They are not happy. Um, I've been getting 99% negative responses. So no one understands why I'm doing this. No one appreciates it when I go out with them and I don't eat meat. No one appreciates it when I say no thank you when they offer me chocolate or when they offer me anything that I know has animal products in it. So I'm constantly having to explain to them, listen, I'm doing this for two main reasons. Try to respect it. But even if I explain to them, they say, come on, just have one, just a small bite. I feel as though people are just testing my resolve or testing me to see how much I'm committed to this. At times it can get annoying, because, you know, you say no, but people don't want to accept that as an answer. They have more questions and more questions. I'm fine with questions, but if I say no, it means no. And so I've been facing that a lot, a lot, a lot. My drawer at the office, Neil Dune, is full of snacks, milky snacks that people offer me because they want me to eat with them, which I understand. I mean, this culture is super friendly, super amicable. People, if eating with people is just part of bonding, and I understand it. But offer me something else. Offer me this is the last gift I got. And I'm like, my friend at work said, and I told him, thank you so much for this. This is the first plant-based snack someone has given me at the office. And I really appreciate it. He's been paying attention to the posts online. And he's like, okay, he's not going to bring me chocolate. He's going to bring me this instead, which are chickpeas,
Mm-hmm,
roasted chickpeas. And I really appreciated that.
mm-hmm.
So he's part of the 1% positive feedback I've been getting. Otherwise, it's been horrible feedback. People make jokes around me all the time. People send me photographs of burgers, meat burgers. People send me photographs of meaty dishes. Um, and the interesting thing is, Neil Dune, these are people who acknowledge that there's a climate crisis. And I find that surprising. People know there's a problem. My friends, they know there's a problem, but they aren't sure, or rather, they're unwilling to change their lifestyle. Okay, and I get it. Veganuary came really abruptly to many people. No one saw it coming. I was one of only us on our team. It's three of us knew Veganuary was coming. And so my other team members have been reducing their meat consumption, eating a lot more vegan diets. Every day at the office, we're like, okay, where are we going to order from today? and they decide whether or not they want to eat vegan or not, but they've been eating more vegan. They haven't gone fully vegan like I have, but they've been trying, and I appreciate that. And so uh, I forgot my train of thought. The question you asked me was
What are the responses?
responses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my team as well are parts. They're part of the 1%. They don't offer me meaty things to eat at all, and I appreciate that. But otherwise, it's been a real challenge getting people to understand that this is being done for a purpose. And if you can't respect the purpose, then just stay quiet.
Correct. Well, it's there is a new outcome from a research made by Turkish Vegan Association, and 3% of our society is now vegan. It's a good
3%.
number, 3%.
Very nice.
I think it might be a good idea to have more vegan friends. I don't know how to reach them. Of course, in Ankara, we have a close community and we support each other because support is important. At least, you know, if you are changing a lifelong habit,
Yeah.
it's a habit. You need at least some appreciation. I
Yeah,
think
you need support.
you need support. If you have friends, close friends, walking in the same direction, this is really this makes your life easier and the target reach more,
Yeah.
you know, easier
Yeah,
to
I
reach the
agree. I
target.
agree. I would love a mix of that. I would love to hang out with vegan people, particularly when I'm going to eat. But you know something, I don't want to stop hanging out with my meat eating friends. I find it very interesting to because every week people want to know what we're showing, what we have on the show, and it's always a secret to people outside. Because every week we show them more and more startling images. And so they always ask me in advance, what are you going to show next week? I'm saying you have to wait until Monday and Tuesday to see it. But I like the slow journey of me explaining to meat eaters where I work and my friends, hear the facts, hear what scientists are saying. You know, I will go out with you anytime you want, and of course I'll never stop being your friend. There's nothing going to change there. I will eat with you quite often as much, but I will continue this vegan journey, and it's up to you to decide if you want to change it or not. I'm not going to try to coerce you into stop eating meat. I'm not going to try to do that. Nilgün, I've always, since I've been small, or rather, since I became an adult, I like living by example. I don't like pounding something into someone's head. Do this, do this, do this. I hate it when my parents did that to me, so I don't do that to my friends or to my family. I try to live a certain way, and if people think, "Oh, that's interesting, you're getting great results. Why?" Then I tell them why. People have always been curious as to why I have a good body, or why I play tennis so often, or why I get such good results in the gym, or why I might appear a certain way on camera. If they ask, I tell them, and this is another thing I can't wait to share more of. Asking people, Reagan, why does your skin glow so much these days? Oh, you'd like to know? I'm on a plant-based diet. You want to try it out? And they'll be like, maybe, maybe not. And if they're willing to try it out, I can help them out. But otherwise, I would love to hang out with vegan people, and I would also like to continue hanging out with my meat-eating friends as well, because I think the way to change someone's opinion of something is definitely not by distancing them from your life, which is what a few people I know do. I don't think that's the right direction, and hopefully, I can get some results and raise that 3% in Turkey to 4%, with your guidance, of course.
Yes, because you know your existence as a host of such an important program could change a lot. I indeed, because you are focusing in the issue from the right perspective. You are never leaving animal agriculture off the table like so many other people do. When you are talking about climate crisis, there are millions thinking that only leaving straws out of our glasses is enough. That is not enough. And each individual can do something. But it comes with a cost. You have to change your mindset. And you can be a great example for that. I did the same. I had the same experience. I never, preached, but my existence, my not doing things was an example all the time, everywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So.
But also, I'm a journalist, and if I follow the rules of journalism, I can't take a side on this issue. Although I'm sure it's a climate crisis issue, which means we acknowledge it's a climate crisis, which means I've already taken a side. But I've invited people out. Like recently, we talked to a guy named Jason Isaac. I don't know if you know him. Really interesting person. He represents an organization in Texas, in the US, that do everything they can to stop climate crisis issues from being highlighted. They try to penalize green energy organizations. And so he came on the show and talked about, listen, I live a carbon lifestyle, and I hope everyone else in the world does too. It's a startling thing to say, right? So he says that on interviews on Fox News. He came on the show to explain with us, one of the preconditions of him coming on Just 2 Degrees was to not fight him on his perspective. And so when he came on the show, I said, okay, let's just hear your perspective. Talk about what you believe. He's like, he doesn't think there's a problem. He thinks that scientists who say that global warming will reach to an unmanageable level, he thinks they're lying. He thinks there's an agenda, a left-wing agenda. He thinks global warming, it isn't a hoax, but he does think that it's exaggerated. And I asked him as well if he wants people to live a 100% carbon lifestyle, or if he thinks there should be a mix between green energy and carbon use. He's like, I don't mind a mix, but I don't want any government-funded green energy initiatives. And that's ridiculous. Government is where the money is, and those are the ones who can make the biggest change and fastest. So he's effectively saying he doesn't want any green energy. He doesn't want any of it in his face, and he doesn't want it interrupting whatever agenda he has. But after we interviewed him on the show, we had like quite a few people talking about what Jason had said in the interview. And of course, they said that what he's saying is absolutely ridiculous, and that we have to stay the course of reducing our carbon emissions and trying to hit those targets, even though they aren't necessarily very realistic at this point.
Totally. How about us? I mean, we have been on your show twice. First me, and then from Coffee Streety and from Animal Save Movement, Lizette. How was the response of the audience after our interview?
Oh, I have to honestly, I don't get responses from audience at all. We have an engagement department. They've uploaded so far one episode of the show that I know of, and I think they mentioned to me that there are comments. I haven't checked them, but I will check them. I'm trying to get all the episodes, including the one with you, uploaded to the internet finally, because it's a new show. We've been having some issues trying to get it up, but hopefully we're on path to getting all these episodes up and really getting some sort of feedback.
Awesome. Thank you. So I wish you the best luck for these last 23 days.
Oh my God, you're counting it down. I can't believe that.
Yeah, but for the rest, because February is also coming, February is the day.
What? Are you serious? Yes. Oh my God, are you kidding? I love it so much.
Yes.
Listen, I'm telling you guys, please keep the challenges coming. If you can help keep people on this course, it will be amazing. I have to add, people are asking me, what are you going to do after Veganuary? I'm like, my response is always, I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Okay, buddy, no coughing. It depends on how I feel. Because I don't know how I'll feel, honestly. I might feel fantastic and continue. But knowing that you have another challenge coming will be amazing. It'll keep me on par for at least another month.
I bet you will feel great. I bet you will.
I'm sure I will.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much as well. Of course, you will talk again in the future. I'm sure you guys will be on the show many times this coming year.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Nilgyun.